Rightio guys, welcome to Moto Morini and a giant wooden mower, I assume. And yeah, it's actually a lovely Saturday morning, Matariki long weekend. So if you go far enough back in the channel, you will find my last Matariki mission, which we went up north, did Bailey's Beach on the rally with Tal and Dave. Yeah, this time I've got the Moto Morini X-Cape. Going to meet Ray, who has the Moto Morini Sayamezo SCR, and we're going to do a Moto Morini Matariki mission. I got here first, which means I get to take in the sights and pick where I'm going to have breakfast. This giant wooden mower is actually pretty cool, and it's got some rock eggs. But yeah, so I've got the X-Cape. We're going to go do the Forgotten Highway, which we actually did a few years ago together when we went down and did a loop of Taranaki. Ray had an MT-07 there, I had Rosie. We're talking about 4 years ago or so. I just got Rosie the rally, so it was one of our very first trips together. So we've got Moto Morinis this time. Should be interesting. There is hopefully a little bit of gravel still on the Forgotten World Highway. They've changed it quite a lot since the last time we've been here. So we're gonna grab something to eat, meet Ray, and then I think we're going to go and check out the Forgotten Highway, what's changed. Hopefully the scenery's still pretty epic, and hopefully there's a little bit of gravel to play on. So rightio, well I've got food in my stomach now, and we have a Ray who is back there fluffing around trying to get his camera to do what he wants, because he's got a fancy camera from his fancy job. But yeah, here we go, two Moto Morinis. We've got the X-Cape, the adventure bike, and we have the Sayamezo SCR Scrambler. So out of the current Moto Morini range, these are the bikes that if you want to go gravel riding, they're the ones to do it on. The X-Cape has switchable ABS, the Sayamezo does not. But the Sayamezo has some other interesting features that are quite nice to have, like it has a range to empty readout all times, where the X-Cape doesn't. But they're very similar bikes, very similar spec, and it should be a good fun ride. So we're going to leave here. Our current plan is we're going to go from here in Taumarunui to Whangamomana, down State Highway 43. Lots of changes down that road, but it should be twisty, windy and fun. Lots of places to stop and take some pretty pictures hopefully. And we're just going to cruise around basically. I think we're going to hit up Mount Taranaki as well, because there's a river point of interest there. Otherwise, this is us for today. So naturally, Ray and I being on bikes with identical power outputs, we wanted to see which was quicker. So we had a bit of a play around on some empty back roads, and the results were surprising. First one, yeah, Ray got off the line quicker, and then I flogged off. Second time round, the Sayamezo absolutely well, dominated the heavier X-Cape. But it was all good fun mucking around on these two Moto Morinis, and that was one of the best things about this ride. We had bikes that were very similarly spec'd, and we could just playfully enjoy the bikes and each other's company without sort of one person just getting away from another person.
Honestly, they're good fun bikes, these Moto Morinis. Like, they've got enough power to be entertaining and get you in trouble. But also, they're well spec'd. I think the only real negatives is there's currently not much of a dealer network. So you're a bit restricted there in terms of getting your warranty mandated servicing done. That's really it, I think. Oh, these twisties. See, it's stuff like this that I just don't really get to enjoy on the rally. Like, it's just, you're full throttle the entire time sort of thing. You don't have any of the finesse of just and throttle out, get that nice torquey push behind you.
Now, one thing I absolutely loved on this ride was the intake noise that the Moto Morini was making. particularly as we were throttling out of corners. You could just hear that induction noise, and it really made riding this bike quite a pleasure. Doesn't have a loud exhaust, but it just, it sounded great, and it made the experience all the better.
Here we go, Tungarakau Gorge. This is where the gravel starts, somewhere up around here. Well, previously, once upon a time, there was gravel here. Car coming. Oh man, it's narrow. Love how the locals don't fucking slow down. Oh man, how cool is this? Like, up against the cliff faces and stuff. Alright, gravel and an abandoned burnt out car. I wonder what that was. It looks like it was a Caldina maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Also a bit harder packed this time. I think it was very fresh gravel last time we were here. It was like 4 inches deep. It was hilarious. At the end of that ride, my factory tyres were toast. Like, I could have squeezed some more out of them, but...
And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never showed. They're all the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Rightio, I've taken some more photos and faffed around a bit. As far as I know, Ray can't hear me. I think his cardo's turned off. So, we're just outside the Moki Tunnel, which means it's about 20 k's or so to the Whangamomina pub and a beer. So, hopefully got some cool photos of the bike this time. I don't recall there being a stop there last time, but who knows. So yeah, my dad managed to come off his Triumph 1050 through here once. Oh, there we go. As you may or may not be able to see, got the high beam on. This is a good test for the headlights. She's a rough tunnel, and yeah, Dad got knocked off his Tiger 1050 and broke his leg in this tunnel. That was a shitty ride to the pub, I think. Right. Oh, cool. That looks awesome. Is your cardo on? All the water coming off the hillside there, that looks really cool. Hello. Yeah. Your headlight is completely filthy though. Yeah, it's working. It's just your headlight is just caked in stuff. Like it's changing it. But yeah, like your headlight is just so caked that there's barely any light coming through it. Oh, and it's a lovely day on this side of the tunnel. Very impressed with the headlights on the X-Cape actually, because this time going through I could actually see the ground. I recall the last two times I've gone through that tunnel on Rosie, I've not really been able to make out much of the ground in front of me. Capital of the Republic of what? The Republic of Whangamama. 14:06, I think we may have missed lunch. Oh, we'll find something. I'm keen to stop and have a nice cold fizzy drink of some kind though. Look, there's a tiger. Yep. Yep. Nice twisty road. Super twisty. Last time I came through here they were doing roadworks, so it's nice to actually have a full reign of the road. But it is a bit moist and a bit slippery looking. I'm getting gravel sprayed up at me from your rear wheel. Oh, I'm getting gravel sprayed at me from your rear wheel. Off the road. Shit, that's a beautiful valley. Yeah, gotta stay on your toes on the Whangamama sandal. The potholes and subsidences. Something I found quite interesting before was while I had Rever up on my phone, the speedo on this bike is actually remarkably accurate to what the GPS puts it as. Where? Goat, where? Oh, you ran off the side of the road, poor bugger. Ooh, that's... Ooh. That's gonna... Oh, just looking at the road there, it's gonna slip down in the next big heavy rain. One of the things I did before this ride was, you know, Adam Ryman, the guy that does the Motology films. Yeah, one of his little tips he did on one of his videos was to shift your lever brackets inward a bit. Yeah. So I shifted the basically the wing mirror mounts and lever mounts in about 5 mil or so, and it's interesting. And it's made the lever reach so much nicer on this bike. Yeah. Where you got more leverage on the end of the lever, sort of thing. But one of the things I noticed was, like, on the X-Cape here with its brake lever, if I put my fingers directly out from when, like, I've just got them on the bars, my index finger's not actually in that groove that they've got there for your fingers. It sort of sits on top of it. So I've sort of shifted it in. It's made it a lot nicer to get on the front brake.
So, as we were starting to approach Mount Taranaki, I felt something hit my leg. And it turns out the DJI Osmo action camera that I had sitting on the handlebar there had broken off. So my old GoPro mounts had failed, and luckily the camera landed on my lap. Right, well, Ray just had the brilliant idea of actually saying what we're doing here. So I may as well do the same thing while he laughs his ass off. Because while he was doing that, I was faffing around in my kickstand, like up and put away. So yeah, we done State Highway 43, which was brilliant, good fun. And now there is a River Point of Interest token somewhere on that mountain. That's Mount Taranaki. So our Moto Morini Matariki mission is now the Moto Morini mountain mission, Matariki mission. All of the M's. All of the M's. So, yeah, the sun is getting low.
This episode is brought to you by the letter M.
I'm sure we can find the letter M. So yeah, we're going to get up there hopefully before the sun sets, and then it's off to New Plymouth. Righto team, well I don't know how much you actually saw of my last little clip because the battery went dead. So, we're in a beautiful forest on our way up Mount Taranaki. Because when there's a really big mountain, some people just have to climb them. But in my case there's a river point of interest, which I've been looking at for the last 3 years, going I really should go and nab that. So since we're in the area, I've convinced Ray that we're going to go up to the top of this road, the Around the Mountain Circuit, Egmont Road or whatever it's called. Going to go up to the top, get this point of interest and get me back on the ladder, on the points ladder for the River Challenge, Best of New Zealand. So yeah, hopefully, it's not too slippery, hopefully I find Ray at some point because he did go ahead of me. But what a stunning little road. Like, it's just magic. All of the growth over the road. Mind you, it'll be very slippery, so we're not going to go balls to the wall or anything, but this is quite lovely. And gotta admit, it's quite cold. I've got my visor open right now, and my eyes are watering from the chill. Because when is a better time to come up one of New Zealand's tallest mountains, or at least one of the tallest mountains in the middle of Ireland, than in the middle of winter on Matariki.
on your Moto Morini Matariki mountain mission. Because this episode is brought to you by the letter E. Chuck, 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 chuck. Oh, that looks slippy. This could get interesting. Ice grip for the next 6 kilometres. That might make Ray's butt pucker. All the more for the challenge though. Sadly it doesn't look like we're getting to the snow line, but hopefully we should get a pretty sweet view. Okay. Oh wow. Go around. Well, there's no one around to stop it though, look. So. And it's a bit hard to turn around on a hill. That's nice. I'm sure some dock staff will possibly get angry at us, but wow.
Right, I don't know how long I've got battery wise. I don't know how well you can hear me because we are as high as you can drive on Mount Taranaki. So hopefully I got the river point of interest and I'm back on the board. Somewhere that way I think is Mount Ruapehu. So that means home is vaguely that way, I think, using my very vague directions. But man, check out how fast those clouds are just moving over. It's unreal finally coming up here. I've been wanting to come up here since I still don't ever had the POIs. So yeah, before you go flat, before the wind completely ruins the shots, let's put you away. Okie dokie. Welcome to day 2 of the Matariki Moto Morini mission. So yesterday we went and saw Whangamomina, did Mount Taranaki, and today is just the trek home. Nothing too exciting really. It was awesome to hang out with Ray. It was really fun to be on the 2 Moto Morinis. There's a lot to be said for riding a motorcycle that is very similar to what your friends are riding. It's one of those things I kind of miss and find quite a struggle riding Rosie the Rally around, particularly with mates on bigger bikes and stuff. It's just on these long sort of touring rides, it's just miserable. So it's quite cool to be on very similar bikes, same engines and stuff, and we had a blast. I think Ray would have probably liked switchable ABS and possibly a larger front wheel with better tyres, but both the bikes did tremendously well on the Forgotten Highway. We took our time and enjoyed it, and we really don't have much to complain about. The hotel, the Devon Hotel here in New Plymouth, is fantastic for the money. That's something that we really didn't expect. We were sort of thinking a pokey room for the money we paid. I think it was $130 for the night. Had 2 queen beds, very clean, restaurant down inside and all this. It's definitely a one-stop place to stay. So, yeah, the plan is I'm going to pootle along basically the west coast up to Mokau. If the weather's alright or if it's looking okay, I might have a nosy in at the beach. We'll see how we go. But for now, I'm just going to initiate cruise mode, listen to a podcast or 2, and try not to get too wet, because that weather is not what we had yesterday. I think we really lucked out with this ride. I really want to do some more riding with Ray, and yeah, more on the big bike here. So I've got this for another month or so, and I really need to use it a lot more. Go do some more rides, some exploration, and really pump out the content on it, but make the most of it while I got it, because I think it's going to be really hard to give it back.
Would I buy it? Probably. Could I buy it? No, I don't have the money lying around. But it's been a fantastic adventure touring bike, which it says on the side. And we've got there's a few things I'd change if I owned it. Chuck the skid plate on, crash bars are a must, some handguards, and I'd enjoy it. Go touring, see the country. But yeah, unfortunately I don't have 15.5 grand lying around that I can just drop on a motorbike. I'd have to sell Rosie the Rally, and I'm very emotionally attached to that motorbike, even as much as I complain about it. Anyway, I'm going to turn up the podcast, engage cruise mode, and yeah, we'll catch up later.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow.
Rightio, back from the Moto Morini Matariki mountain mission, and here is how the bike fared. So she's a wee bit grubby, not as grubby as that wee Say Mezzo got, but she's seen some stuff and she performed very, very well. So what can I say? I thoroughly enjoyed riding this all the way to Mount Taranaki and back, doing the State Highway 43, the Forgotten World Highway. It's been a thoroughly good trip, and now I need to plan next year's mission so that I can make this an official tradition and block it off as an annual holiday for me on bikes. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.